Communication is the foundation. Number one on the list when it comes to building a strong, thriving family. Why? Because every member of the family must know this. They have a voice, and that voice matters. It's not enough to just hear them. It's about making sure they feel respected. Each person, from the youngest child to the oldest adult, needs to understand that their opinions count. A family is, in essence, a democracy. Everyone has the right to bring their thoughts, their concerns, their joys, and even their frustrations to the table. And when I say table, I'm not just talking about any old piece of furniture. No, I'm talking about the dinner table, a place of gathering, a place of connection. The dinner table is more than just a place for the evening meal. It's a place where the day unfolds, where stories are shared, and where experiences are brought to light. It's where questions get asked, and more importantly, where answers are hoped for. Around that table, you create an atmosphere of openness, an environment of communication. You ask about each other's day, you discuss the ups and downs, and you make sure everyone is heard. That's the key communication. Now, if you look at today's world where broken homes and split households are far too common, divorce happens and kids are often caught between two households. So the question is, how do you raise strong, well-adjusted kids when they're split between two homes? Here's the answer. You make sure that both households, though different, share common ground when it comes to raising the children. The philosophies in both households need to be compatible. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jim. If our philosophies were compatible, we wouldn't be in two houses. It's true. But listen carefully when it comes to raising kids, you must put aside personal differences. You've got to work together and develop one unified set of principles by which to raise them. Why? Because if you don't, the kids end up confused. One set of rules at mom's house, another set at dad's house, it's chaos for the children. And when kids are confused about what's right and what's wrong, they lose their sense of stability. So no matter how your household is structured, communication must remain at the heart of it. Everyone needs a voice. Everyone must be heard. And most importantly, everyone must recognize that each voice counts. That's the first and most critical step, communication. Now let's talk about the second key to raising a strong family: activity. There was a fascinating study done not too long ago, and it looked at what made families happy. Do you know what they found? These happy families all shared a few things in common. First, they made a habit of eating dinner together, regularly breaking bread as often as possible. Second, they engaged in physical activities together, whether it was walks, tennis, swimming, or shooting hoops. They made fitness a family affair. Third, they were spiritually connected. They spent Sunday mornings in church. And finally, the parents in these happy families made it a priority to spend quality time together, just the two of them, without the kids. Now, you might be wondering, how does the parents' personal time together affect the entire family? It's simple. When parents are happy, when they invest in each other, they present a united, strong front to their kids. That unity is like the foundation of a house. Without it, everything starts to crumble. Personal time together strengthens the foundation, and when the parents are in sync, the entire family benefits. So here's what I want you to do. The second key is activity. And not just any activity plan, purposeful and consistent activity. Go for bike rides in the summer. Plan ski trips in the winter. Take the family fishing, boating, to the zoo, whatever sparks joy and engagement. Play frisbee in the backyard, shoot some hoops, or even organize a family softball game. The activity doesn't matter as much as the time you're spending together. The key is to get outside, move, and connect as a family. And don't forget about inside activities. Spend time together at home, unplug the TV. Put the phones away and engage in something meaningful. Whether it's board games, puzzles, or just sitting around talking about your day, these moments inside the home are just as important as those outside. Plan regular family nights where you can be fully present with each other. The essence of a strong family comes down to two things: communication and activity. When you foster these two elements in your household, you create a bond that will withstand the challenges life throws your way. Communication builds the foundation. Activity keeps it strong. When you communicate effectively and spend quality time together, whether at the dinner table or out on a family adventure, you create a family that isn't just surviving but thriving. So invest in your family and watch it flourish. If you've got a young family that's gotten into the habit of plopping down in front of the TV at every spare moment, it's time to rethink that pattern. You see, the television can be an easy distraction, but it can rob your family of precious moments that could be spent growing closer, creating memories, and building stronger bonds. The key is to gradually wean them off this passive activity. Start simple. Pick one evening a week, just one, and declare it a no TV night. But don't leave it at that. Use this time wisely. You could read together as a family, whether it's a novel, a collection of short stories, or even poetry. Reading brings conversation and discussion, it broadens the mind, and it gives everyone a chance to express their thoughts. Or work on household projects together. Maybe there's a leaky faucet that needs fixing, a room that could use some redecorating, or a backyard garden that needs planting. Working together on a project gives the family a shared sense of accomplishment and pride. You could even take a trip down memory lane by going through old family picture albums and home videos. Remember, the joy is in the recollection, the laughter, the do you remember when? Moments that make life so rich. Now, here's an idea I particularly love. Start a family journal. Each week, take a few minutes to write down what the family did, where you went, what you experienced, and most importantly, how everyone felt about it. This becomes a living document of your family's growth. Imagine years from now looking back through the pages of this journal and reminiscing about all the adventures, big and small. These journals will become some of the most precious treasures your family has, a time capsule of your shared journey. Now, let me share with you another creative way to log your family's history. A friend of mine shared a wonderful story. She grew up in a household where sibling rivalry was fierce, 3 kids, always competing, always arguing. Every so often, her parents would secretly place a tape recorder under the dinner table and record their family conversations. Fast forward to today, those kids are all grown up. But when they get together, they pull out those old tapes and laugh until their sides hurt. These recordings have become a way of rekindling the family bond, reminding them of where they came from and how far they've come. It's a beautiful thing. Now let's talk about the third, and perhaps the most important key to raising a strong, healthy family with bonds that'll last a lifetime. A spiritual connection. Now, I understand that everyone's beliefs are personal, and I'm not here to tell you what to believe. Whether you call the power behind our existence God or something else is entirely up to you. But here's what I want to emphasize: whatever your faith is, whatever your beliefs are, share them with your family. Share them with your children. Don't let spirituality be a private, untapped wellspring in your home. Make time regularly to discuss the spiritual aspects of life. Give your kids a foundation, let them explore, ask questions, and develop their own beliefs. There are so many wonderful programs at churches these days that go beyond the Sunday sermon. There's Sunday school for the kids, vacation Bible school, camping trips, family outings, weekly Bible studies, picnics, plays, musicals, concerts, you name it. If you're searching for a new church home, don't be afraid to visit several to find the right fit for your family. There are countless ways to build strong bonds and healthy relationships within your family. The tips I've shared are just a few. I'm sure you have your own ideas, and that's wonderful. The important thing to remember is that the more energy you invest in your family, the more love and attention you give them, the more you'll receive in return. Your children will love you unconditionally when they're young, no doubt about that. But here's the challenge: when they grow up and they understand the world a little better, make sure you've given them reasons to continue that unconditional love. So be with your family. Go to church together, spend time together, talk with one another, and really get to know your children. Who are they? What are their dreams? What are their visions for the future? They aren't just smaller versions of you, they are their own individuals with unique hopes and aspirations. Now, let's not forget balance. You must balance your personal life with your professional life. Home life, work life, they must work in harmony. What you're striving for in your career should complement your home life, and what's happening at home should complement your career. If one is out of balance, the other will suffer. Imagine a woman gets into the office early, stays late every night, week after week, month after month. But oddly enough, she doesn't seem to accomplish more than anyone else. Why? Because she's using her work as an escape from her problems at home. Something's wrong. And here's the thing: whatever's bothering her at home is most likely affecting her work too. On the flip side, imagine a man who's always late to work, frequently leaving in the middle of the day for some emergency at home. He takes long breaks and often leaves early. He's not being productive at work, and chances are he's using home as an excuse to avoid the job. In both cases, there's a lack of balance. So what's the lesson? Fix what's wrong at home. Fix what's wrong at work. Don't ignore the problems, face them. If what's going on at home is the result of neglect, admit it and address it. Go to counseling if you need to. Talk with your minister. Seek the advice of a trusted friend. But remember, problems that build up over time won't be fixed overnight. Be patient. Give it time to heal. Balancing work and home isn't just a nice idea, it's a necessity. If you don't find that balance, you'll pay the price, and sometimes the cost is just too high. So invest in both areas of your life, your work and your family. Keep the balance, and you'll find success not just in your career, but in your personal life as well. Let me share a little story about a man who's constantly late for work, sneaking out in the middle of the day, always needing to tend to some emergency at home. He's taking long breaks, leaving early, and frankly, he's not getting much done. You look at the situation, and it seems like this guy is using these so-called emergencies as an excuse. Now, if something is wrong at work, you either fix it or you look for a better opportunity elsewhere. But if the problem lies at home, you've got to address it too. Don't ignore it or sweep it under the rug. Admit it if you've been neglecting things, and take the necessary steps to fix it. Sometimes that means talking to a trusted friend or even seeking counseling. Whatever it is, understand that the issue didn't develop overnight, and it won't resolve overnight either. Patience is key in healing. But you must begin the process of healing. It's essential. Balance is one of the foundational pillars of living well. There's a rhythm to life, your professional life and your personal life, and your personal life. They are two separate entities. They are intertwined. If you let problems fester in one area, it will inevitably spill over into the other. A man or woman who has trouble at home will find it difficult to perform at their best at work. Conversely, someone constantly stressed at work will carry that stress home. But here's the key. Sometimes your professional ambitions demand more from you. That's just a fact of life. Maybe you're working on a special project or chasing an important goal that requires more time, more energy. And that's okay, as long as you're transparent with your family. Let them know what's going on and reassure them that the extra time and energy you're investing in your work will be repaid with interest. Relationships are built on understanding and communication, so don't leave them guessing. Psychologists have pinpointed two things that bring us the greatest satisfaction in life. First, it's our work, our contribution to society, the goals we strive for, the progress we make. It's through our work that we generate our lifestyle, our influence, and even our power. But the second thing, it's love, the love we receive from our family, friends, and those who care about us. Knowing that someone truly cares for us and wants to spend time with us gives life its richness and meaning. Now, the goals you've set for yourself professionally are not going to come easy. We know this. Achievement requires discipline, commitment, and continuous effort. There's no silver platter for success. You're not going to reach your dreams by wishing or hoping they take consistent, focused work. You understand that your goals require your attention every single day, otherwise they'll simply slip away. But here's the truth many miss. The same level of attention, commitment you give to your professional life must be given to your personal life. You can't just expect your family relationships to flourish while you're out building your career. Just like your work, relationships need to be nurtured, cultivated, and cared for. You have to take time to water them, to remove the weeds of negativity that can creep in when you're not looking. The mistake so many people make today is putting all their energy into work, thinking that's the only way to succeed. But it doesn't work like that. Your family, your relationships, they need just as much investment. In fact, they're the foundation for a truly successful life. And here's the thing about relationships. The more you give, the more you get in return. If you stop giving, the well runs dry and you'll stop receiving too. So keep investing in both your work and your relationships. That's part of the good life. When you strike that balance, when you put your attention and energy into both your professional and personal pursuits, you'll discover a life that's not only successful but fulfilling. And that, my friend, is what we're really after, isn't it? The good life, a life well lived, rich in both achievement and love. What good is a mansion on the hill if you've got no one to share it with? It's no good. What good is an investment portfolio worth $1 million if at the end of the day you've got no one to celebrate it with? It's no good. What good is working tirelessly, day after day, month after month, year after year, accumulating wealth, climbing the corporate ladder, reaching the top of your professional game, if by the time you get there, your family has drifted away, or worse, left you entirely? It's no good. All the success, all the achievements, all the wealth, it loses its meaning if there's no one to share in the rewards with you. You see, life is about balance. There's a rhythm to it. Work hard, yes, but also make time to play, make time to rest. Work 6 days, but take that 1 day off to recharge. Work 3 months, but make sure you take that week off to renew your spirit. Because if your life isn't balanced, something will suffer. And if something suffers, the consequences are often heavy. Life without balance can cost you your relationships, the very people who are there to share in your success. Life without balance can cost you your health. And we all know that without health, everything else diminishes. Life without balance can even cost you your spirituality, that deeper connection to something greater than yourself. And without that, what's all the material success for? Let me say it again. Balance is the key. Balance in your life, balance in your life, balance in your ambitions. Work on a balanced life and work on balanced ambitions. Because if you neglect one area, eventually it will affect the others. Now, if you're someone who believes in faith or spirituality, don't neglect that part of your life either. Study it, practice it. Just like you would with any other skill or discipline. Faith, when practiced and nurtured, helps sustain your ambition. It gives you a foundation, a sense of purpose beyond just material success. Neglect, on the other hand, is the great destroyer. It starts small, like an infection, but if left unchecked, it spreads and grows into a disease. One neglect leads to another, and before you know it, things start spinning out of control. Here's something to consider if you've been neglecting your spiritual life. I'm not asking you to believe in anything specific, but if you do, don't ignore that part of yourself. Don't put it on the back burner. Study it, practice it, give it the same attention you give to your ambitions, your career, and your family. Because it's all connected. When your faith is strong, it sustains your drive. It helps you keep perspective when the pressures of life become too heavy. It's all about balance. And speaking of balance, think about how your professional ambitions tie into your personal life. They're not separate. If you're pouring all your energy into your work, you'll need to pay that time and attention back to your family, pay it back with interest. Relationships require investment too. And if you don't maintain that balance, you end up paying a steep price. That's the danger. Being meticulous with your clients, but careless with your children. Being disciplined at work, but neglectful at home. Without balance, there's always a price to pay. And sometimes that price is just too high. So here's a question to ask yourself. What price am I willing to pay for my goals? What will I have to give up to achieve them? Who will I become in the process? It's important to evaluate all of this before you begin the journey, because everything comes with a cost, and not all costs are worth paying. Now, do you think the disciplines you develop at work can have a positive impact on your personal life? Absolutely. The skills you sharpen in your professional world, whether it's time management, discipline, communication, can translate directly into your personal life. Every skill, every discipline has a ripple effect. Nothing stands alone. Everything is connected. And everything matters. Yes, there are some things in life that may seem trivial, that may seem like they don't matter much. But trust me, there's nothing that doesn't matter. Be mindful. Be intentional. How you treat your family will influence how you treat your clients. How you manage your office will reflect how you manage your personal affairs. So don't be casual about life. Don't be casual about business. Don't be casual about family. Everything matters. Life is a web of interconnected elements. And if you neglect one part, the whole structure can suffer. Balance is the key to maintaining that structure.